What's up? It is Golden Spaces, an Odyssey original podcast with Justin and Nat. Justin got a little fancy today for y'all with the hat. What kind of hat is that, Justin?
It's my brother's brand, actually. It's called Birds of Yamin.
Yeah.
So,
Plug it.
yeah,
Let them
it's
know
my
where they
older
can
brother's
get it if
brand.
they want to cop.
You can cop it at, I got to find the app. I'm pretty sure it's Birds of Yamin, YAMEEN on Instagram.
How you don't even know
Uh,
exactly what his brand is to
that's what it
plug?
is. No, I
I
didn't know
think
if that
it
was the
is.
same at. I'm
Oh,
saying, I think that's the Instagram, but it is their Instagram, Birds of Yamin. You know what I mean?
okay.
So,
It's nice. All right.
thank you.
Well, we're feeling good tonight. We're feeling good because the Warriors clinched another playoff berth. They are the 6th seed, and we're happy about it that they're the 6th seed. I think people got to put this into perspective. The Warriors finished the season 44 and 30.
Eight,
What is it?
38.
38? There you go.
Mm-hmm.
44 and 38, right? That is with Andrew Wiggins missing 45 games. Is that right?
That is
And
correct.
and Stephen Curry missing how many?
I want to
Close to 30,
say
I want to say.
I want to say 27. Yeah, 27.
Yeah, me too. 27. So with Andrew Wiggins missing 45 games and Steph missing 27 games, that doesn't even account for the games that Clay missed, not playing back-to-backs and all of those. But between all the starters, well, we know Loon doesn't miss games, but between the other starters, they've missed over 80 plus games combined. Wiggs and Steph
Ridiculous.
accounting for the bulk of them. And people are going crazy about the road record. It's honestly remarkable that they finished at that kind of record. So we're going to just
Mm-hmm.
enjoy this. I've seen people trying to clown, acting like we shouldn't be happy. No, it is not guaranteed to get to the playoffs. We know this from just 2 years ago, especially since they implemented the play-in, right? I still need someone else to lose in the play-in like we did. So I just need it to happen. But it is not guaranteed, y'all. It is not. Just like 73 and 9 wasn't guaranteed. So, and for long time Warriors fans, y'all know. Y'all went through years of it. So we're going to celebrate this playoff berth and be excited about it. And yes, be excited that we're a 6th seed, in light of everything that has transpired this season, starting with Draymond punching his teammate. And now we don't even have to be the laughing stock of the league because it was some drama tonight. So it's so much to get into. But the Warriors, we're sitting pretty. We clinched our playoff berth. I think we got the most favorable opponent. It's somewhat of a quasi home series for them. They have the potential maybe in a future round to get a home series. We'll get into that. And you know what I'm saying? They're clicking on all cylinders. I don't care who they played. I don't care who was sat. I don't care who was missing. They were playing well. And Andrew Wiggins is coming back. We are heading into the playoffs with momentum, the way that you're supposed to head into the playoffs. Clay got 300 threes. The trio of Clay, Steph, and Jordan breaking records, the most threes by a trio. You know what I'm saying? Steph, while he finished slightly short of a 50, 40, 90 season, still incredible season for how old is he? 32, 33-year-old? I don't even know. How was that?
35.
35? Is that real?
35.
Shit, I'm making up his age. I don't even know his age. I just know he's 30 plus.
I wish he was still 32.
You know what I'm saying? This is incredible, the kind of season. He basically put up a 50. He was like 49.2. He put up essentially a 50, 40, 90 season at the age of 34, 35. He was 34 for most of the season. I mean, this is incredible what these guys are doing. Draymond was incredibly defensively. Kevon Looney played 82 games. Jordan Poole played 82 games. People, we have a lot to celebrate. Let all of that stuff go from the season. It's a new season. It's a new season. The road record don't matter no more. It's a new season. So shout out and congratulations to our Dubs. Yes, that's how we get in this podcast started off today.
Yep.
What you got to say, Justin?
The vibes, 9.9.
Woo! 9.9, baby.
Vibes at a 9.9. Just all the things that you just listed right there. Wiggs is back. They're heading into the playoffs, healthy and whole for the first time all year.
And they're getting a week off. So those aches and things that people feeling.
Oh, yeah. They should be good going in there. It looks like the guy who shouldn't be named is finally like out of the rotation. Like he's not getting even a chance to be for the first rotation. So we look at it, the vibes is 9.9 right now. 9.9.
We sitting pretty. I tweeted about that tonight. I said, "Woo, Moody getting the start over you know who." I used the little Oprah, Michelle Obama meme where she's like,
yeah,
you know, she's like dancing. Moody helped them to break that record today for the most points in a quarter. Let's go. They were the only ones who went in there tonight and did not play with their food. The Lakers played with their food. They won, but they played with their food. The Clippers played with their food.
Mm-hmm.
The Pelicans played with their food and done lost, and now they dropped even further down. Now they got to win 2 games instead of 1. Warriors did not play with their food. They smacked Portland's ass.
They definitely did. That was just a shellacking from the beginning. It was not close.
They said, I need 5 threes. Boom. I'm hitting them off the top, son. We just getting that out the way early.
Getting it out the way. Clay's clicking. Like I said before, I think that might be my favorite part of the season is how Clay is like back, at least offensively. He's back to what he was. He might even be better than he was before the injury offensively. It's just so refreshing to see after everything that he's been through and all the, all the tough times that he was on the bench looking at other people play and getting in his feelings about it. Now he's finally out there dominating offensively again. It's been, really good to see. So super happy for Clay for sure.
And how about that dunk today from Moody? Like he just
Kuminga had a crazy one too.
I meant Kuminga. I meant not Moody. I meant Kuminga.
Oh yeah. Future's bright for that kid. I think he's going to have a game or 2 in the playoffs that he's the difference maker in a game.
Yeah.
It's just things he can do out there.
Earlier. I said people trying to tell me that the Suns having a lack of bench don't matter. I said, let me tell you something. I'm very glad Kuminga's coming off our bench. It was right after he did that dunk. I said, okay.
Yep.
Clown Suns fans try to be running to say, oh, we don't got no bench like going off this game. I'm like, bro, y'all were playing the Clippers on a back-to-back, son. Like, y'all don't have no bench. What are we doing right now?
Like, what's
and they told me that I need to go and watch tape because I sound stupid saying that Ayton is soft. Like,
he's soft. He's definitely soft.
He played off the court. They're like, that's never happened. It's never happened. Okay.
Saban Lee and Terrence Ross are not going to be doing what they did tonight in the playoffs against teams that's really locked in on them. Like, let's be for real.
Some of those dudes not even seeing minutes. Some of them not even seeing minutes.
They might. That's true, but they might, and that's when it's going to be proven that they don't have no bench. Right? D. Lee, we love you over here. But we know when the playoffs come around, it's just not going to be there. I'm sorry. We've seen it already. So, no, I'm not trying to slander.
Man.
I'm not trying to slander my guy, but come on, man. Campaign, not it. Not it. Anyway, it's not about the Suns. It's about the Warriors.
It's not. And just, heads up, guys, Justin and I are going to put out a full playoff preview later this week. But we just wanted to bask in tonight and the Warriors and what they did and just take some time to appreciate the squad and also clown some of the other teams a little bit because they got some drama. So before we move on to that, I mean, is there just anything else about this season or the team tonight or anything that you wanted to point out, Justin?
I mean, I made a tweet earlier about Clay and Dre about how, I mean, the fan base in particular has been super hard on those two all season. And I think, given their age and like all the things the team has gone through the season, obviously off the court stuff, Draymond is like unexcusable for some of the stuff he's did. But on the court, they've showed up and they've showed out pretty much all season. Clay started out slow because of his like not playing in scrimmages and stuff over the summer, that mental block that he has. But once he got himself into form, he's been near all-star level, if not all-star level since then. Draymond's been defensive player of the year caliber all year. So I think people just got to put a little bit more respect on those two guys' name. I'm happy to see
Carried the
Gary's
team
back and
along with Jordan while Steph was out too.
saved the season, really. There was a stretch there where they could have really imploded, and Clay had a heater on for like a good week 2 stretch and won them some games that they couldn't have won without him doing that. So shout out to them. And I'm just excited about the playoffs now that everybody's together, like Gary and Dante together on the bench. That's going to be crazy defensively. Kuminga's there too. Jordan's finally like getting his feet under him as far as like getting ready for the playoffs, and he's been playing a lot better. So I'm just excited to see what they got.
Yeah, can y'all stop being goofy about Jordan's last game too? It's like he's been
Yeah,
playing
I didn't really
well.
have
It
an
was
issue
like
with that
one
game.
game. It's like,
Right. He shot
every
good
game
shots. He just
doesn't have
missed
to
some.
be. Yeah, just every game don't got to be a referendum on his contract and if he should be on the team and whether he should be traded and if his minutes should be taken. Is no different than anybody else. Like if you're having some tough minutes or struggling, shit. Even Wiggins, I felt at one point earlier this year, Kerr benched him because it was just like you just were not having that game. You know what I mean? Like the only players
Mhm.
really that's not going to happen to is like Steph, Clay, and Dre. And even Dre got benched momentarily, not fully, but like, you know what I'm saying, on offense in the finals.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, it happens.
stop being so ridiculous with Jordan. He's a young player. He's still developing, but he played all 82 games for us too, and we needed every bit of that. We needed every bit of that.
Quite literally. Like this is a type of season where one loss could have been a difference between being in and out of the play-in. And he helped them steal some games. That Cavs game after they lost to Boston, and it was a back-to-back, and everybody was Boston, whatever. We kind of punted that Cavs game, and he went out there and they still won because of him.
Yes.
When Steph went down initially, he won them a few games. So
Pay attention.
proud
When
of the
they tweeted
guys.
out the picture, when the Warriors account tweeted out the picture of them making the playoffs, Jordan was in that picture with the starting 5. Okay? For a reason, because he is part of this team's core. So put some
Right.
respect on his name.
I have nothing. I mean, they've all had their points of the season where they've been a little bit subpar, whatever. That's naturally going to happen. But I have no issues with anybody in the core. Um, this
Nope.
season they
And I don't
all
got no
deserve their
issues with
respect.
Dante or GP2 either.
Right. For me, they count as the core. Like
Kaminga.
the players that showed up this series, right? I mean, this season, the big 6, plus Kaminga, plus Dante, plus Gary. I mean, Gary's only been there for like 7, 8 games, but all of those guys don't got no issue with them. And then PBJ, the young guys, they didn't play. Moody too. You can throw Moody in there because I feel like he didn't really get a fair shake this season. But when he had his
didn't.
opportunities, he played well. It's
But
just
he
he
may
who should
get
not be
some minutes in
named
some of these early playoff rounds. I mean, the way
for
things are
sure.
looking, he might get some.
Yeah, but he who should not be named.
Andre is not going to be back to start. So it's like, it might be Moody, especially with a team
Right.
like the Kings. Because, I mean, you do need defense, but like the Warriors may just try to out offense them.
Yeah, he could. I mean, it depends on what Wiggins looks like. I think Wiggins could just take up so many minutes that Moody won't really have a shot, but you never know, depending on how guys are playing.
If there's a game where they're struggling a little bit to get offense going, you might see Kerr try something.
For sure.
We'll see. Like I said, I just like the fact that like he's the first one coming off. You're not seeing Lamb. And to me,
Mm-hmm.
I did say his name, but like to me, that's an indication of something. It's an indication of
Right.
something, Justin.
Yeah. We're trending in the right direction.
We are.
Trending up.
So shout out to the squad. Shout out to Dub Nation. As crazy as y'all can drive me sometimes. We appreciate y'all. The squad appreciates y'all. And now we look forward and ahead to the playoffs. So Warriors, like I said, we in good shape. But Justin, some of these other teams, I don't even know where to begin. But I think let's start with the Timberwolves because they had the most amount of dysfunction, I think. So Rudy Gobert, in quite the turn, and I say that only because he had a lot of commentary when Dre punched his own teammate to then turn around in front of the world with everybody watching, punch his teammate, Kyle Anderson, who I only recently learned, like today. I was today's years old when I learned that he is of Jamaican descent. Great grandma's from Jamaica, you see? Now I gotta mess with him. I always tease him, slow mo. I'm like, nah, that's my dude. That's my guy now.
Future Warrior Kyle Anderson. Perfect Warrior player.
Is that what he is?
I'm telling you, he would fit in so perfect. I mean, like he can't shoot, but all the high IQ stuff, he'd fit right in.
Son, he told them they got to make a decision this summer. Did you hear that audio that's floating around?
Kyle Anderson said that?
You ain't hear the audio? So, yeah, all right. I don't think I'll be able to play it loud enough, so I'll just read it to you. So apparently some Timberwolves employee recorded some stuff post the game, and someone tweeted it. And the person who tweeted it, his account is Jaden McDaniels GOAT. His handle is actually at Jaden McDaniels F. I don't know why he felt the need to indicate that it was a Timberwolves employee. Like he could have just said, I got the audio and not indicate who it was. He didn't say who the employee was though. And it's not actual video. Like I think video was taken, but they basically just put up the audio of it. But like, Anderson is saying, the fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all kiss his ass way too much, telling me to focus. Fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all got a decision to make this summer.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was after the altercation, right? And at first, like, Woj was on TV saying, oh, like, he told him to go get some more rebounds, and someone said go defend. So first, like, Woj was giving us, like, the light version, but then later it was like, Kyle said some more words to him. So, yeah. It was just, I was like, what is going on? I'm going to send this to y'all now so you have it so when you can listen after the pod. But yeah, I mean, and then McDaniels goes and punches a wall and ends up fracturing his hand. I mean, what is the dysfunction in Minnesota?
What type of Amari Stoudemire type of shit is this? Like,
you get Cat back, y'all get back, and then you do all of this bullshit like right at the end of the season, on the last day of the season, Justin.
And the thing is, I've always felt like, well, going into the season, I wanted to see how it looked. But once the season went on, it became clear that like they don't necessarily have to choose between Cat and Rudy, but it's like when one of them is not playing, that's the better version of the Timberwolves. Like you can't, both of them, it shrinks the team. But like when one of them is out, whether it's Cat or Rudy, the Timberwolves are way better. So I'm thinking, okay, Rudy might be suspended for a game, like after that altercation. Now they in prime position to kind of push the Lakers. And then Jaden McDaniels breaks his fucking hand punching a wall. Like, what are we doing? Now, in my opinion, they don't really have a chance.
Like Lakers fans are legit scared to play the Timberwolves. Like even still, they're like, we still don't want to see them. That's why it's so ridiculous that they did this. Okay. So Timberwolves, that's why the person has F in his handles, because he's a forward. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you what Woj said. He said, Minnesota's Rudy Gobert escalated a verbal argument to a physical encounter after Kyle Anderson told him to shut the fuck up, bitch.
Hey, talking crazy. Talking crazy to that man.
The disagreement started with Anderson telling Gobert to block some shots. Gobert telling him to grab a rebound. And ended with a punch and Gobert getting sent off.
My thing is like, bro, if you gonna punch him,
it is a game that they needed to clinch 8. And they sent him home. Yo, that's so wild to me.
and what did I say when they sent him out? I said Minnesota might win now.
So Rudy tweeted, emotions got the best of me today. I should not have reacted the way I did, regardless of what was said. I want to apologize to the fans, the organization, and particularly to Kyle, who is someone that I truly love and respect as a teammate. He also had apparently a text the team after the altercation. 8 Woj goes on to say, Gobert hurt his back in a victory over the Spurs on Saturday and nearly didn't play today. He was sore, believed he was fighting through the discomfort, and referred to those limitations with his back when arguing with Anderson. That's per Zach Lowe.
My man really punched him in the shoulder, though. Like, if you're gonna punch somebody, punch him. You know what I mean? It was kind of like one of those, I really don't want to punch you, but you called me a bitch, so I got to do something.
Right.
It kind of proves what Kyle was saying.
The son, it really looked like Prince was about to throw hands. Like, he got out like, Rudy, out.
Right.
He pushed him and like, yo, I felt like Prince was like, I'm about to mess up. Oh. Yo, it's some dysfunction over there.
Yeah. It seems like wherever Rudy goes, he ain't really the most liked guy.
No, more on this. After bench incident, Timberwolves, this is Shams now. After bench incident, Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert, and Kyle Anderson had a heated verbal exchange in halftime locker room as well, with Anderson challenging the center at one point, saying, I'll knock your ass out.
I believe him.
Oh my God. I tell you what, I thought the man was Jamaican. I said, oh, this makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. And then the best part to top all of this off was Draymond tweeting, insecurity is always loud, because as you know, after he punched Jordan Poole, Rudy Gobert tweeted, insecurity is always loud. I mean, you can't make this up. It just comes full circle, Justin.
Yes, it always comes full circle on Rudy.
The Wolves had also lost Reed earlier in the year. So, I mean, I don't know. Do they even actually make it in? Like, I feel like the Pels still have a chance to come back and beat them. Like, I don't think the Wolves are going to beat the Lakers at home in LA. If they pull that off, shout out to them. But I don't think they are. Right. So, I mean, I think even though the Pels lost, tonight, I still think they could come back and get them. Assuming they beat OKC. I don't know if I see OKC getting that 8th spot, So I think the Pelicans, with their home court advantage, will probably be able to dispose of OKC. But then it's like, okay, when they have to now play whoever is the winner of that matchup between the Lakers and them, it's like, I think if it's the Wolves, they can maybe get one, but I'm just not sure. Because I feel like if the Wolves get in, they get in like swept probably.
Depending on who they play.
If 5 they play games. You think they could take Denver to 6?
No. That's what I'm saying. If they can somehow beat the Lakers, sweep? The Nuggets will sweep them.
Oh, you mean somehow beat the and get into that matchup with the Grizzlies?
Yeah, Timberwolves. I think they could take a game or 2 off of Memphis. They would get swept by Denver, though.
They're such a low IQ team, though, the Wolves. Like, I mean, look at this. They're, like, punching walls. Like, I feel like... I mean, look, the Grizzlies also suffered a big blow. They lost Steven Adams. you
And Brandon
know,
Clark.
and Clark from earlier. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be Wolves versus Lakers, and I feel like Lakers are going to win that series. I really do. Although Wolves fans are telling me that's not possible, but I
Grizzlies.
think, huh? You think the
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies still beat the Lakers?
No, you were saying the Wolves. So you're saying the Lakers are going to beat the Grizzlies.
Yes, sorry. Yes, I think the Lakers. I
Oh.
think the Lakers beat the Wolves in the play-in, secure 7, and then I think they go on to play the Grizzlies, and I think the Lakers beat the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I would lean Lakers too. I would think it goes 6 or 7, though. I have questions about the Lakers' point of attack defense, especially with D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley playing a lot of minutes. John Morant should be able to kind of do whatever he wants, but Anthony Davis is obviously one of the
That's
best
what I
rim
was gonna say.
protectors in the
Anthony
league.
Davis.
So it's going to be tough. Jared Vanderbilt had a lot of success defensively against the Grizzlies in the playoffs last year too, so they definitely could muck it up a little bit.
So let me ask you this:
so we'll just have to see.
If it's Lakers Grizzlies, who would you prefer the Warriors play? Because if the Lakers win, the Warriors would have home court in that second round.
I would rather them see the Grizzlies still.
Okay.
Yeah. I would rather see John Morant, Dylan Brooks, and Jaren Jackson 10 out of 10 times overseeing LeBron James and Anthony Davis, just from a talent standpoint and size. Like, you know, I mean, AD and LeBron are both bigger players. The Warriors' front court is not at its peak level. So I would feel confident in the Warriors beating either of those teams, but I think they would be able to get rid of Memphis a little bit easier, quote unquote.
I think both of those are 6-game series at most. I really do.
At most. Yeah, at most. I think they would be able to beat Memphis in 5, especially without Brandon Clark and Steven Adams. If this is like second round and Wiggins' legs is under him, I just have a hard time seeing Memphis being able to play with them without their size advantage. Because the biggest advantage on the Warriors is offensive rebounding.
I feel like as a series goes on, it's going to become tougher for the Lakers. Like, I don't think, even though there will be more rest in between games, I still don't think, like, they've yet to show that they can, like, go through a full season, which they didn't really even do this year, and then make, like, an extended long run. The only time they did it was the bubble, and they had, like, time off before the bubble. I just don't think they can handle that wear and tear as a group.
True. And I mean, their team is good, but it's not that good also.
No.
Now, like, you know what I mean? Like Austin Reeves, I just don't know how good of a whistle he's going to get in the playoffs. Jared Vanderbilt is offensively limited. D'Angelo Russell is defensively limited. He also takes a lot of bad shots. Malik Beasley hasn't been able to really shoot since he got to the Lakers. You know what I mean? Like, it's LeBron and AD, but outside of them, like, if they had a series against the Warriors, you can argue LeBron and AD are like 2 of the top 3 players in that series. Like, it's pretty inarguable. But then players 4 through 8 are like all Warriors. Like, like the next best players in that series is like Draymond, Clay, Wiggins, Jordan Poole, Looney before you get to the next best Laker. So,
yeah, right. And I think like this version of Clay, I get that his defense isn't that good. Not that good. I didn't mean that not that good. His defense isn't good. To be not as good, right. But I still don't think the gap between him and Anthony Davis is like I just don't think it is. I really don't. Not when you have Draymond on the court still. He's not stopping Anthony Davis, but he's making it harder on him.
I think the combination of Clay and Draymond overpowers, it's greater than Anthony Davis alone. And I think Steph and LeBron at worst cancel out. If anything, Steph is better than LeBron at this point. You know what I mean? Like, over the course of a series, LeBron is still very smart and stuff. He can definitely affect the game at a high level. But like I said, Steph cancels out LeBron. Clay and Dre cancel out Anthony Davis. And then at that point, it's depth versus depth. And I think the Warriors have significantly more talent after their top players than the Lakers do on their side.
So. I got to tell you, I'm always going to root for having home court in a series. So I think that's more advantageous than getting Memphis and like flying. there or whatever, because I think the Warriors can still win in LA. And as long as they do that, then I think it's a 5-game series. I don't think LA is coming into Golden State and winning.
Okay. Hey, if Wiggins is by the end of that Sacramento series, if Wiggins is fully Wiggins again, at least defensively, then I think I would agree with that because I think he'll make LeBron's life a little bit tougher than it would be otherwise. And if LeBron and AD ain't otherworldly, I can't see them winning more than a game against the Warriors in a series. So both of those two
and we've
dudes
never
would have to
seen them
be
be otherworldly,
outrageous.
not in the bubble together for like, you know what I'm saying? Also playing against like a team of that caliber. They were in the bubble playing against the Heat, bro. Like, we're not the fucking Heat.
You are making a good point here. Even in the play-in, they were both kind of not that great.
We almost beat them in the play-in, like depleted. Like, Bron doesn't get the fucking shot. Honestly, if Kerr just doesn't rest Steph and Dre at the same fucking time, they probably lose that game. Like, what are we doing
That's
here?
True.
Like, I'm just not afraid of the Lakers. I'm not. And honestly, I need that series to end quickly because like their fans are annoying as hell. But both sets of teams' fans are annoying. So like the two teams that I just wanted to avoid altogether, like we may not avoid, but I'm going to always take home court because that could be a chance because now you have quasi home court and then you have home court. So that's 2 rounds to kind of get you guys in rhythm and have favorable circumstances before you play like a Western Conference Finals on the road and a finals on the road. That's how I look at it.
I feel you. That's a very good point. It's a very good point.
So we'll see. But, that was a lot of the drama, with the Timberwolves. So we'll see how it shakes out. It never ever goes as you expect because, like, I didn't actually expect the Pelicans to make it last year, and they did. So there could be a surprise team. Like, OKC might somehow, like, surprise us and get the 8th spot, which doesn't matter because they're going to still lose to Denver. Like, Denver is beating any one of those teams unless it's the Lakers who fall to 8. And then they might still win, but that's going to be a harder, tougher series for them.
I agree. I would say Denver in 7 against the Lakers.
But I do think that there's a chance.
Nah, Denver in 6.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll say Denver. I switched it.
You switched to Denver in 6? But there's a chance, and I think your instinct was right that like the Wolves aren't beating the Lakers in a series, but you might be able to beat them in one game and get the 7th seed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just like, dang, that Jaden McDaniels loss is huge because he played LeBron really well. He's been playing star wings very well all year. He's like their stopper. So without him, it's going to be tough. Like, Taurean Prince can't do shit with LeBron. So maybe Anthony Edwards goes crazy, though. AE and Cat kind of likes playing the Lakers, so maybe he goes crazy.
Yeah, if he has, like, just, like, a really crazy shooting night. Because, like, shooting-wise, 80 can't match him shooting.
Nah, he can't. And bigs that can shoot kind of give the Lakers problems because Darvin Ham likes to let AD just sit in the paint and just block everything. But if you pull him away from the rim with a shooter, then it kind of hurts their defense a little bit. So that's going to be an interesting matchup, even without McDaniels. But with McDaniels, I might have leaned in Timberwolves' favor.
Gonna definitely be interesting. We don't have to deal with that. But let me tell you something. Anyhow, the Lakers miss the playoffs because they lose 2 play-in games. Man, listen. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. Something funny is going to happen with the play-in. I don't know that it's going to be that, but something funny is going to happen because every year something always happens. First it was the Warriors not making it. Last year it was the Pelicans getting in. Like there's just something strange that always happens. So I don't know what it will be. So whatever we're saying right now is likely to happen. One of those things is not going to happen.
True.
But that's okay because the Warriors, baby, we are in 6. We are in there. So, all right. Now let's talk about the Clippers because they have some of their own drama today. So Plumlee and was Bones Highland? Is that who it was? Yeah. Which is interesting in itself because part of the reason Highland was traded from the Nuggets is because he's quite a bit of a handful. So he's arguing with like Plumlee. They get in each other's face. Lou did a great spin job talking about, oh, maybe we need more of that because after that we got it together and won the game because they were seriously playing with their food. They were seriously playing with their food. I don't think that's an issue for them to have to worry about it. It's not like Rudy Gobert. Like, to me, that feels a little bit different. But why are all these teams fighting on the last day of the season, Justin? Like,
I was watching that when it happened.
We had our dysfunction early in the year. Thank God, had the whole year to like work through it. Cause like having that like on the last day of the regular season is not ideal.
It's not. Yeah, I was watching that when it happened. I mean, Bones Highland is just horrible defensively. And I think Mason was just like, yo, like he's probably trying to tell him, like, hey, you were supposed to be here, or this is your rotation or something. And Bones, like you said, is a handful. So he probably wasn't trying to hear it, and they got into it. But after that, Mason Plumlee kind of took the game over defensively. I'm not going to lie. So maybe Ty Lue was right. But Bones, man, I don't know. He seems like one of those players you just kind of send him to a team that isn't playing for anything so he can get his numbers and not worry about impacting winning. And that's kind of the best situation.
He's a big reason they won their last game. He came in off the bench and changed things for them.
He's true. He's hot and cold. Like he can score when he's streaky a little bit, but that defense is just not it.
No, it's not. And like there's no word on Paul George. Like everyone is like, it doesn't seem likely. And like Shane Young and I were tweeting back and forth today, and he's just like, knowing the way the Clippers are and how they like, bring players back. And I said, yeah, but is that same kind of timeline going to apply in the postseason? Like we know it never does. The Warriors are super cautious too, but like Steph arguably in 2016 shouldn't have come back during that Blazers series when he did, and they did. And it was just because they lost one game. They were still up in the series. They were like, nah, we're not playing around with this. We bring him back and end in this series in 5, and I kind of feel like Paul George's return is going to be dependent on how the Suns are, like how the Clippers are doing in that series. Like if they somehow go into Phoenix and split 1-1, right, then I think the Clippers are going to feel more comfortable. Like, okay, yeah, maybe we can like keep him out a little bit longer, play a game 3, see where that is before we bring him back, or, whatever. So I don't see how they're going to get through that first round without him. But I also don't think this smackdown that people are expecting the Suns to put on the Clippers is going to happen. I don't understand why people think the Clippers are this team. Like they're like, oh, somebody tweeted like, oh, the Warriors, they're lucky. I said, the Warriors are lucky. I said the Suns didn't even want to see the Warriors. They sat all their guys to ensure that the Clippers would win. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? The Suns ain't want to see the Warriors in the first round.
The Suns have the least amount of continuity, I think, in the Western Conference playoffs right now, as far as chemistry, experience playing together. And the Warriors have the most by far, right? I don't understand why they would want to see the Warriors, especially first round. Where they've had 9 games with KD and the other guys playing, 8 games, and none of those games were against playoff caliber teams. Like I don't know, but like you said, the Clippers, I mean, at full strength they match up very well with the Suns, but even still, they still got a pretty decent matchup with them. I don't know how Kawhi's gonna be able to hold up carrying that load because it's pretty much him as the lone extremely high level scorer playing against them. Norman Powell is a good matchup for Norman Powell because he's quick first step. He can get to the rim, and they don't have a lot of like point of attack defenders in Phoenix. That's why he was kind of cooking them tonight. So
they have a better bench than the Suns. So similar to like what we were saying, right? Obviously they have KD and Book, but if you put like Kawhi and KD sort of on that same level, and I do, if Kawhi is like healthy and fine, then in terms of tiers, like, yes, I think KD's better, but I think they're both like tier 1 guys at their best, So it's like, I think for the Clippers, it's going to be one of those things. Like, it's not going to be like, you're our second guy. Like, the way when Kawhi went down that postseason and like Reggie was like their guy after Paul George, I don't think they know or can say like it's one guy. Like, it's going to be, I think, a different guy. You're going to have a night where like Bones Highland comes on and really does a lot for them. Another night it's going to be Powell. It's going to be like combination of people. But Kawhi is going to have to probably be really good like every single night, which is why it's so important for him to get this week off, which is why I was like, you people are stupid if you think like they'd rather tank to the play-in to avoid the sun. Like, people really thought that. And that's when it's like, y'all are delusional about the Suns. Who do you think they are? You think Kawhi is like fearing Kevin Durant? He doesn't fear Kevin Durant, So, I mean, he said it, and I always respect Kawhi's honesty. Like, when he was a Raptor and they played the Warriors, and I think after they won, or it was like close to them winning, or I think it was like when they went up 3-1, he's just like, I mean, they are missing some guys over there, like when the media's like asking him all this stuff, and he just acknowledged it, like, obviously you can't help who's on the court. You play who you play. But he was just like, I mean, they are missing, some guys over there. And then like tonight, he was just like, look, we got to play better. Like, they sat all their stars. And in the last 2 games, teams did that and they were still close with us. So I really like Kawhi. Like, I just feel like he's so honest. So I thought that was like, good of him to say, but he's really going to have to be like Kawhi of old for them to have any chance in this series without Paul George. And so that's why I was like, they definitely want to get that week off too.
Yeah. Kawhi is one of those dudes, like, he consistently raises his game in the playoffs like every year.
Yeah.
He just like everyone, he's had moments where he's kind of like came up short, but everybody has that moments. But his playoff numbers are crazy every year. So if there's one guy, if there's a group of guys, he's a part of that group of guys that can push a team like this without his co-star.
Yeah.
And like you said, that whole week off is going to be great for him because obviously he's dealing with the injuries of the past and how that affects his body and stuff. So it's interesting. People are, like you said, people are kind of delusional about the Suns about how good they are currently. Like, maybe next year, sure, when they retool, they can be really, really dominant or whatever the case may be. But right now, nobody should be like scared, like, oh my God, I don't want to see the Suns. Like, they haven't played anybody yet. Like, we don't know if they're that good yet because they haven't played anybody. Like, with KD, they played the Hornets, the Bulls, Dallas with Kyrie and Luka. All 3 of those teams are not going to be in the playoffs. They play Minnesota, I'm pretty sure, without somebody. Denver without their starters. OKC, the Spurs, and Denver again without their starters. They haven't played anybody good.
And they were losing every game without KD. Like, you're not that good if you're losing every game without KD.
Thank you.
You're not. So, and Ty Lue, it's going to be good because Ty Lue, he's good. Like, he's good. You give him a series to match up and plan for you. Ty Lue's good.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how Russ plays.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how Russ plays because they don't have the best rim protection. Like, they got Ayton and KD, but neither of them are like dominant rim protectors, and they don't have a lot of point of attack defense. So he can really attack some closeouts, get into the paint, make some stuff happen. If he's like on his game as far as IQ goes, he can hurt them a lot. And Terrence Mann, because they can inject some athleticism and drives to the rim and just kind of play from there. So it's going to be an interesting series, I think.
It is. I think that series goes no less than 6.
Okay. We get. I mean, I guess we can save the whole stuff for the playoff preview, but
that's what I think.
I agree. I kind of agree.
Yeah, I mean, people say I'm 5 and all this bullshit, and they get like.
No. I said just from the talent, and they got home court advantage. I think the Suns win 2 games kind of convincingly. The Clippers will win 1 game convincingly, and then there will be like 2 or 3 games that are pretty close. And then when it's close, it can go either way. So I can definitely see it going 6, or 7.
There you go. And then, I didn't really care that much about the East. I don't care that much about their plans. No. It's all very uninteresting to me. The West is where it's at. based on like the matchups we know so far, I mean, which series are you most excited for outside of the Warriors? Which I do think is actually going to be the best series, but I think if it ends up being Lakers, Lakers Grizzlies, I think that one could be a very like interesting series because I forgot about the whole LeBron yelling at them like for clowning him every day, yelling like the old man yelling at them. So I forgot he got his little thing with the Grizzlies too.
They don't like them. They don't like the Lakers, and the Lakers don't like them. That's gonna be a really fun series if it happens. I think all the series. I mean, I think if the Lakers end up 8th and the Timberwolves end up 7th, then all the series will be pretty fun because Timberwolves versus Grizzlies is always fun. And then I think the Lakers can legitimately challenge or beat the Nuggets, so that'll be fun. But if the Timberwolves play the Nuggets, like I said, I think they would get swept. Lakers versus Grizzlies, that would be really fun too. I don't know who would win that series. And then, like I just said, the Phoenix Suns and the Clippers would be super fun as well. Yeah. In the East, it's going to be one like Philly, Milwaukee, and Boston are probably going to either gentleman sweep or sweep whoever they play. The Knicks and the Cavs could be a fun series.
Yeah, that'll probably be like the closest series.
Yeah, but everybody else is getting specked. Unless the Heat play the Celtics, they somehow always take at least 2 games off the Celtics. Like, so.
Yeah, Heat Celtics will be good too. They got some past history, but I'm not that compelled by
Jimmy.
The East. I just hope, like, like when we played the Mavs, their fans were pretty cool. It didn't get too crazy. That's what I'm hoping the whole NorCal series will be like. Like, I feel like, I mean, I honestly don't know that many Kings fans, and I haven't seen them like all crazy in my mentions yet. So who knows how they'll get once the series starts, but I'm hoping they'll just be cool and we can just like talk shit and, whatever. I feel like, at least from what I've seen, they're just very in the like, I'm happy to be here sort of thing. So like for us to be back, and I mean, obviously they want to win. I'm not saying that they don't, but they don't seem to have this arrogance about them that some of these other teams who have not done anything have. So it should be interesting.
Yeah. I think it's just kind of like it's love there, but it's also just kind of like a rivalry kind of. So
yeah, I mean, I think cool. It is because I mean, I think a lot of them, in a way, too, like the Warriors, right? They like have their team there, and their team wasn't winning, but they had this other team that was close, and so, I think Warriors World asked the question about the split, like what's the percentage of Warriors fans do you think will take up the arena? I was like 40%. I think a lot of people were saying that, and they were like, "Yeah, I think that." Like, I think it's gonna be. I think the Kings will out edge them. But I think it's going to be a lot of Warriors fans in the building. I really do.
I do too, especially for the playoffs. Yeah.
Wow. We are looking forward to coming back once we know, like, we won't, probably by the when we drop our preview, we won't know all of the matchups, but we'll know most of them, I think, except for like the 1-8 matchups. So we'll just talk through what it would look like in either one of those scenarios. But we'll be back with a full playoff preview, a very detailed one for the Warriors, what they need to do. We may even have some guests. We'll see. But we're going to come back and do something good for you guys, get more of our thoughts. We didn't even touch Dallas, which is like, they were also crazy. Like the whole, what they did for the last game, which we talked about, but then it ended. And did you see like that Luka had the back and forth with the reporter, the one who said that the Mavs are worried or like, he could ask for to be traded as early as 2024. He had a back and forth with that reporter. It was really funny. Did you see it?
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, because he was asked about like how does he feel the progress of the team is or their future, and he's just like, oh yeah, I know, because it was said I that I might ask to be traded. He's like, I didn't even know that. You know, like that's what Lucas says. And so the person's like, no, just to be clear, like that's not, I never said that. Lucas said that. So he gets like really defensive and he starts like defending what he said. And Lucas like just listening to him. It was just funny. And he's just like, then I don't even know why you said it. Like he was like, I was just saying that, like, you know, the way like Kyrie and all these other players, like he brings up all the other players where like their situations weren't great. So they eventually went and asked for a trade. So you were just like speculating like this could happen. Like you were pretty specific. You were like as early as 2024. It was so funny. And Lucas just like, he's like, well, you know, I'm happy here. So I don't plan on doing that. And I think Lucas being honest, it doesn't mean that's how he'll feel in another year or two, right? We see Dame with all these comments coming up that he's not interested in rebuilding. And I'm tired of Dame too. Like he needs to just like ask for the trade. Like he doesn't want to ask for the trade because he wants to look like I'm this loyal guy. But bro, like what so I'm over listening to him. But yeah, it was just a funny exchange. So the Mavs got their drama and Kyrie did not do his exit interview.
Wow.
Oh my god. It was so much drama everywhere, Justin.
I love it.
I feel like you gotta look at the Mavs season as a failure though. Like you guys were just in the Western Conference Finals and then you come back the next year and you don't even make the play-in.
Terrible.
You lose Jalen Brunson and then you traded your depth to get Kyrie and then you may not even get to keep him.
Yeah, that if they don't keep him, that's the big disaster right there. Because I think they have a pretty good foundation as far as stuff to build on. Because you got a legit superstar and a legit co-star, and now at this point, it's like filling in the gaps, giving them some more size, some more defense, and I think they'll be able to, you know, pull it together next year. But if they lose Kyrie, then that's a huge disaster right there because you traded people away for him, and then you get left with nothing. That would be terrible.
Was defending him as well in the exit interviews. So
yeah, I don't think Kyrie's been bad at all. I said it last episode. He's been pretty good there. So it's on the front office. The front office can drop the ball, and they've already dropped the ball, but they can really, you know, tank themselves if they don't handle it correctly.
So glad we're Warriors fans and not fans of these other dysfunctional orgs. Man. They have to catch some strays from me. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in with us. We are so appreciative of y'all riding with us all season. I mean, we didn't start at the beginning of this season because the podcast was just getting started, but we've been here for most of the time. We got started in about November? So yeah.
November.
Most of the season. So we appreciate y'all riding with us and looking forward to bringing you this postseason coverage where we step our game up a little bit. So thank you so much for the support. Thank you for all the commentary. Please continue to leave us ratings, 5 stars. Give us favorable reviews. We appreciate them. Share it with your family and friends. Continue to download. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Golden Spaces Pod and send us questions. We're going to tweet and we want you guys to know to send us questions. But if you're not on Twitter and you don't see that, please email us because we're going to be doing a mailbag for the next episode. So you can email us at gswspaces@gmail.com. Any questions you have, gswspaces@gmail.com. And we'll answer those questions for our next episode. So thank you so much. Justin, is there anything you want to add?
No, let's keep the vibes going. I appreciate everybody tuning in all season, tuning in for the playoffs. And we're just going to bring home another one. That's because that's what they do. So stick with us through the ride.
We're very confident about number 5. Yeah, and that playoff preview, we're going to have to talk about what that means for Wardell's legacy because, bro, I thought last year was the one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. For all their legacy, but yeah, for sure.
This one is, this one is going to be crazy. So can't wait to talk about that with y'all. Talk about it with Justin to y'all next. All right. So stay tuned. More to come. enjoy this victory. Until next time, guys, take care.